Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another live. This is the first video in the October Lives playlist. This video is on request. Shout out to everybody who is tuning in to the live video today and watching the video later on. I'm gonna give a quick shout out. DJ, drop a beat for everybody tuning in. Tell the DJ's dropping a beat right now for everybody tuning in. All right, DJ, that's good. All right. So this video, first video in the October Lives playlist, and it is on request. One of my students requested this. This video is on finding the volume of a three-dimensional shape, three-dimensional rectangle, three-dimensional square. Now, I'm going to be real. I am not very good at drawing three-dimensional shapes, but I am an expert when it comes to the math involved in finding the volume. So, for this rectangle, the length is 7, the width is 4, the height is 5. And it doesn't really matter what the unit is, the way we solve it is the same. But let's say we're talking about centimeters. All right, so volume equals length times width times height. So to find the volume of this shape here, we have to multiply 7 times 5 times 4. All right. Now, I know that for some of you, this looks scary, multiplying 3 different numbers. But we're not going to multiply all 3 numbers at one time. For right now, we're going to forget about the 4. We're going to forget the 4 exists, and we're going to just multiply 7 times 5. We're going to figure out what 7 times 5 is first. I'm going to do the math in my head, but then I'm going to show you how to do it if you're not able to do it in your head. So 7 times 5, that means that we're adding the number 5 7 times. 7 times 5 equals 35. So 7 times 5 equals 35. So now we're going to multiply 35 times 4. 35 times 4 equals 140 centimeters cubed. Now, a lot of you probably can't do that in your head, so I'm going to break down how to solve that problem if you're not able to do it in your head. There's a couple different strategies. So if you don't know what 7 times 5 is, what you can do is you can draw 5 rows of 7 or 7 rows of 5. It doesn't matter which one, but let's just say I want to draw 7 rows of 5 because I'm limited on space. And then to figure out 7 times 5, we're counting the total number of x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so 35 x's that we counted. 7 times 5 equals 35. So now the next step is to figure out what 35 times 4 is. Now I did that in my head, but if you're not able to do that in your head, here's how you can go about solving that. So 7 times 5 equals 35. So we can take the 7 times 5 out and replace it with 35. 35 times 4. Now remember, multiplication is basically just adding the same number multiple times. So 35 times 5, that's 35 times 4 is just a shorter way of writing 35 plus 35 plus 35 plus 35. Really, you're adding the number 35 4 times. So let's just add 35 plus 35. We'll add 30. We'll start off by adding 35 plus 35. So 5 plus 5 is 10. 0 carry the 1. 4. 4 plus 3 equals 7. So we have 70. So I'm going to cross the two 35s out because we added those. Now I'm going to add 70 plus 35. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 7 plus 3 is 10. So we have 105. We just added 35 3 times. 105 plus 35 now. 5 plus 5 is 10. 0 carry the 1. 1 plus 0 plus 3 is 4. 140. So 140 centimeters cubed is our answer. All right, now I'm going to do another one. Let me just grab my eraser right quick. All right. So I'll leave the shape up here since I'm not good at drawing shapes, but let's change the numbers. Let's say this is 10 cm. Let's say this is 2 cm, and let's say the height is 4 cm. So we got to multiply, to find the volume, we got to multiply 10 times 2 times 4. We got to figure out what 10 times 2 times 4 equals. Let me write that over here so you can see it better. All right, so we're going to start out just by figuring out what 10 times 2 is. So 10 times 2, you could draw 2 rows of 10 x's and count the total number of x's, or you could solve it the repeated addition way. Whether you add your x's or whether you just add 10 plus 10, because 10 times 2 just means that you're adding the number 10 twice, we know that the answer is 20. 10 times 2 equals 20. All right, so that's our first step. That is our first step, is figuring out 10 times 2. So now that we know that 10 times 2 equals 20, now we're going to replace the 20 with the first two numbers being multiplied, because we figured out what 10 times 2 is. 10 times 2 equals 20. So now to find the volume, we got to do 20 times 4. So 20 times 4, that means that we're adding the number 20 4 times. So that means that we are adding 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. Now we could add each number one at a time, or we can just add all of them at once, doing the ones place in the tens place. But let me break it down. Let me do it the shorter way. 20 plus 20 equals 40. Very easy problem. No really any regrouping involved. 40 plus 20 equals 60. 60 plus 20 equals 80. So for this problem, 80 centimeters squared is our volume. I'm going to do another one now. I'm going to make our shape a little smaller too, because I feel like we're a little tight on space over here. Again, I probably didn't draw the shape right, but that's not what's important. What's important is the math that's involved. So let's say the height is 3 centimeters, the width is 2. Let's say the height is 3 centimeters, width is 2, length is 5. So to find the volume, we got to figure out what 5 times 2 times 3 is. All right. So the first step is figuring out 5 times 2. 5 times 2 just means that you're adding the number 5 twice. So that should be pretty easy for all of you, but you can either count by 5s and add 5 plus 5, or you can draw your x's and draw rows of 5 x's and count the total number of x's. Either way. So you can either draw rows of x's and count the number of x's, or you can just count by 5s. 5 times 2, that means 5 is being added twice. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 times 2 equals 10. All right. So now that we know what 5 2 is, the 10 is going to replace the 5 times 2 over here. So write this with another marker. So now we know that 5 times 2 equals 10. So the 10 is going to replace the 5 times 2. We have 10 times 3. So we'll be able to figure out the volume just by multiplying 10 times 3. 10 times 3. Most of you can do that in your head. If you can't, 10 times 3 just means that you're adding the number 10 3 times. 10 plus 10 plus 10. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 10 times 3 is 30. Now, it's not necessary for a lot of you, but if you wanted to do this one at a time, we would add 10 plus 10, 0 plus 0, 1 plus 1, 2. And then we would add 20 plus 10. That would be adding 10 3 times. If we wanted to do multiple, we wanted to do out all of the steps. But it really isn't needed. You can just solve it by adding the 1s in 10's place. So our answer is 30 centimeters squared. All right, I'm going to do one last problem. One last problem I'm going to do for volume, and then I got to call it a day because I got to head out. All right. Obviously, this isn't drawn to scale, but let's just say the length is 8, the width is 4, and the height is 7. 8 times 4 times 7. So we got to multiply the length times the width times the height. We got to multiply 8 times 4 times 7. So we're going to start out just by multiplying 8 times 4. So again, if you're not able to count by 8s in your head, the best thing to do is probably to draw eight X's, draw 4 rows of 8 X's, or 8 rows of 4 X's, either one. You can draw circles around them, but you don't have to. You can just draw them in rows and space them out. Either way, it works. So I have 4 rows of 8 X's here. So if you're not able to do it in your head, what you would do is you make your 4 rows of 8 X's, and then you're counting the total number of X's. But 8 times 4 equals 32. So now we got to do 32 times 7. Now from here, there's a few different ways to do it. I can show you the quicker way, but I don't want to. No, let's just keep with the same strategy. We got it. That means that we're adding the number 32 7 times. All right. So 32 times 7 means that we are adding the number 32 7 times. 32 plus 32 plus 32 plus 32 plus 32 plus 32. We're adding the number 32 7 times. To figure out what 32 times 7 is. So 32 plus 32. Two plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 32 plus 32 equals 64. So we just added the number 32 twice. $64 plus 32 equals 96. We just added the number 32 3 times. 96 plus 32. 6 plus 2 equals 8. 9 plus 3 equals 12. 128. We just added the number 32 4 times. $128 plus 32. 8 plus 2 equals 0. 2 plus 3 equals 5, but we've got to carry the 1 over. 8 plus 2 equals 10. 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 3 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 0. It is 1. 160. All right, we just added 32 5 times. 160 plus 32. 0 plus 2 is 2. 6 plus 3 is 9. 1 plus 0. 192. So we just add the number 32 6 times. So one more now. 192 plus 32. 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 3 is 2. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. There we go. And our answer is 224. So the volume is 224 centimeters squared. All right. That is my video for today. This whiteboard, this math stressed me out, so I'm going to end my video by dunking on the whiteboard. And then I am going to head out because I am late. All right, this whiteboard is barbecue chicken in the post. One dunk and I got to call it a day because I got to leave. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if this video was helpful. And that is it for the video on volume for today. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.